I deeply admire this young lady, not just for her voice, but for her humor, for her wisdom, and of course, how she brings truth and transparency to every space that she finds herself in. So, Karen Jules, welcome. Thank you so much for saying yes, for being with us today. It promises to be a great episode. You cut in the middle of my great spiel.
Yes, because I wanted. It was great, but it got great. The beginning, you didn't know what to say, so I want to make sure that we're saying.
But now I'm not going to know what to say because that just came up.
That's why we cut.
It's inspiring.
It's going to be even better.
No, but then you're supposed to just keep going so that it can just continue and you can like edit it.
Well, in the future, I'll consider that and probably still not do that. But okay, let's.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that
I don't remember the vision statement. That's why
I waved at the wrong camera. Anyways, I was like over here, and then I was like.
It's all good.
No, maybe our podcast will. That's what we were supposed to say. Our marriage didn't work, but maybe our podcast will.
Yes.
That is the line. See, I forgot it. Now we got it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sam and Jen Got Divorced. This is the podcast where we help people bounce back from divorce and build powerful relationships. I don't remember our vision statement. I know that's not it, but that's okay. Here we are today. I am super excited to have our guest host in the building with us. She is, my goodness, I don't even know what to say about her. There's so many things I could say. A multi-talented creative. She is a friend. She has insight for days. And I know we are going to have lots of fun today having our conversation. See, this is why I don't do intros. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Sam and Jen Got Divorced, the podcast where we help people bounce back from divorce. Our marriage didn't work, but maybe our podcast will.
It took us several takes to get that intro right. But you did it. Well done.
Took 2 takes. Calm down.
You gonna leave me hanging?
Yes.
Wow.
Do I need to introduce Karen again?
Yes. And if you want to do another take, feel free.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. I am super excited to have our guest host in the building with us today. I deeply admire this person, not just for her singing voice and her creativity, but she is funny, she is super insightful and super honest. And I'm very, very excited to have a very honest conversation with her today. So welcome into the space, Karen Jules. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Thank you, Sam and Jen, for having me.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great episode. It's going to be raw, it's going to be real, and filled with lots of insight. So let's get it in.
Okay, so this is going to be a really interesting episode because we are talking about attraction. So first off, I want to start with the definition of attraction so that we all know what exactly we were talking about. So here it says, Oxford says, the action or power of evoking interest, pleasure, or liking for someone or something.
That's what Oxford says. I'm Canadian. What does U of T say? University of Toronto.
Now I'm going to have to go and Google it.
Yeah. Jokes aside, I wasn't listening, and I would like to have a more colloquial definition that we can go with in case our viewers also weren't listening.
Okay.
So like what, let me see if I understand. Attraction is when you're drawn to somebody in some way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're evoking interest or pleasure. So I guess you get something out of it once you're being drawn to that person. So that being said, when you're looking back, what was the first thing that you can remember that attracted you to the other? I'll start with you, Sam.
First thing, wow. So I think, number one, like when we first met, I have said this before, I thought Genevieve was attractive, but I wasn't attracted to her.
Okay.
And what I mean by attractive is she was physically within my type, right?
Okay.
I'm attracted to women who are taller, women who have kind of like an athletic, curvy build. Mm-hmm. She's wearing more clothes today, so you'll have to take my word for it. But and so taller, more athletic, curvy build, and like strong features. And Genevieve had those things. And she also had a warm and inviting energy. Those are things that I tend to gravitate more towards.
Okay.
Yeah, complexion I liked, but just because there's a lot of women who are within that category who I find attractive, I'd had no idea that my interest would increase, because in many cases the interest either increases or decreases.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, when I first realized that I was attracted to her was when we were traveling together to New York. Were you on that trip?
No.
No, you weren't.
No.
Was your sister on that trip? You wouldn't
don't
know.
think so.
Because you're not your sister. So we
Yeah, I
were
don't
traveling
think
together.
so.
Myself, Genevieve, our producer, Kalenia, and some other people were traveling together to New York. And I liked the way she traveled. That was what attracted me to her. I liked the vibe. Like, I liked... I felt like we had a yin and yang. Like, where she was strong and more forthcoming, where I might have been more reserved.
Okay.
And there were other times that I was more vocal and stronger and took up a little bit more space, and she was more reserved. So I like that kind of dynamic.
Okay. So wait, was there a moment where you actually said to yourself, oh, I'm attracted to her? So the reason why I say that, because sometimes there's an actual moment where you notice that for yourself, like whether you like it or not. So for instance, I'll go back to me. There was one moment where, I met this person and we were at a barbecue and I met him and I was like, okay, good looking, but yeah, whatever. But then as the night progressed, I noticed that wherever he was, my body was turned towards that person.
Yeah.
So it was like it was subconscious. I didn't even realize I was doing it until after I was like, uh-oh. Like everywhere I turned, I was aware. It was just like an awareness that that person was there. So was there a moment where you were like, oh, wait a minute. I know she's attractive, but I'm finding myself being drawn to
I
her.
like that. It's like your torso was a divining rod.
Yeah.
Taking you towards the gold.
Yeah, no, it's like a magnet. Like literally you're like, but that's the attraction, right? There's like a magnet that just is like pulling you to the person. So was there a moment for you that was like that?
I'll give you, two moments, progressive. The first moment actually occurred before the trip to New York, where Genevieve got food poisoning. She was driving us to a bunch of friends to the movies.
Yeah.
And she got food poisoning and couldn't continue to drive, right?
Yeah.
And her car was stick, so I tried to drive stick. I couldn't drive stick at the time, but I tried to drive us somewhere. We ended up staying at my house, my family house at the time, where my parents were. And I found myself wanting to take care of her. Like, I wanted to make sure that she was okay a little bit more than I had expected. And I was like, why do I want to take care of her? Like, not that I would want to leave her on the street while she's throwing up, but like, the care was notable to me. And then on that trip, then I was like, you know what? I want to spend more time with this person, and not just as a friend, not just in a group. So when she comes back she was traveling the world on the trip.
Yeah.
I was just around for the New York leg of the trip. Then I knew that from then on, I'm like, when she comes back, I'm gonna ask her out. That was the decision that I made internally.
Okay, so Jen, hearing that now, if you could go back.
So you know what's wild? I didn't have like those moments of attraction. When we first met, I've said this before, I've shared this story before. I wasn't attracted to him, and I actually thought of him in relation to my bestie, Kalenia, shout outs in the studio today. And I was like, oh, he'd be really like good for her, because he's kind of quirky, and he's kind of, I don't know, in my mind, her type. Definitely not my type.
Wait, why was I not? What was?
I'm not attracted to like light skinned guys. I'm not like attracted to, like, you have a whole lot of kiss teeth energy today, bruh. But we're talking about attraction.
Yeah,
if I'm
of
being
course.
honest, I love dark skin, chocolatey skin. I've always been physically attracted to dark skinned men.
Okay.
So for me to look at him and say he's an attractive guy, it wouldn't even be a thing. I wouldn't be considering he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
My, I wouldn't lean into that. And
So again, you could see the attractiveness, but not necessarily.
well, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think we'll stick to the question. The question is, what was the question again?
So it was basically the same thing. What was the initial attraction?
So the initial attraction was intelligent conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, it was intelligent conversation and friendship. I think I call myself a sapiosexual. and intelligence is very much a turn on for me. He had thoughts, he had opinions, he was well articulated, he was funny. You know what I mean? Like those kinds of things are immediately attractive to me. And so that would have happened after we were engaging in conversation and after we had become friends. It's almost like, do I really like this person or do I not like this person? Do I like this person? Do I like this person? Or right? There's never clarity about that because of the way that I build attraction towards someone.
Yes.
I have never, I shouldn't say, up until I got married, until I got divorced, I had never been physically attracted to anybody that I dated.
That's very interesting that you'd say that, because I don't know who said this, but the idea is that men are attracted to what they see, where women are attracted to what they hear.
Absolutely.
So you might see a hunk of a person standing in front of you, and it just mean nothing.
When you open your mouth and you don't sound smart, I cannot.
Yeah.
I don't care how nice you look.
Yeah.
And I'm very much a woman in that sense, if that statement was true.
Yeah,
which I think generally
feminine energy.
It probably
Is that what that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm uber feminine in that sense.
Yes.
In that I like, if Genevieve's mouth had opened and she had sounded, you know, a certain way in terms of the way that she processed the world, in terms of her values, then it would have been no chance.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right?
I think, for sure, attraction increases or decreases based on what comes out of your mouth, your presentation. I think what else was interesting, and I don't know if I could say this, but I think I mentioned this to you. So after we had conversations, and we were having conversations as friends, he expressed to me the different types of women that he was attracted to. He'd be like, oh, I like this person, or, I tried to talk to this person, and we're fostering a friendship.
Yeah.
And so when I figured out or knew, I don't know if he told it me, I don't know if he expressed it, but I think whenever I found out that he liked me, I was kind of like, oh, like I'm part of this unique group of like dope women that he's attracted to, because the woman he was attracted to were like, they were fly. I was like, oh yeah, she's fly. Yeah, she's cool.
That's a big
like
deal for some
intelligent,
people,
confident, like, about their business and ambitious. And I was like, oh cool, I'm part of that,
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird in that sense. I was kind of attracted to the fact that he was attracted to me because he was attracted to these cool people.
No, it totally makes sense.
Yeah,
Because if it were the other way around, if you noticed that the people that he was attracted to were like
trash.
Right. Then you'd be
I
like,
have some questions.
What does it say about me?
You understand?
Yeah.
I like sexy red. I like.
They're like, what?
Right. I'd be like, like, what about me? You know what I mean? So
Shout out to Sexy Red. We'd love to have you on an episode of this podcast.
Oh, Lord.
Please do not take any shade. You're not my type, respectfully, but yeah.
I think what you referenced in the story, when we all went out to the movie, and after the movie, I was throwing up. I thought I was going to die. It was crazy. And one of the things that actually sparked attraction, or perhaps the thought that there could be more, was when Samuel was like, okay, I'm going to drive, because I had to pull over like every 2 minutes to throw up. Like I was like heaving. And he was like, I'm going to drive. He couldn't even drive standard, but he got into the driver's seat. I think I got into the back, and he just like figured out how to get me to wherever we went, to his parents' place. And there he was very attentive, and his mom was attentive, and Kalenia was attentive, and everybody was trying to figure out, like, Jen, are you okay? You're going to die? But I remember thinking to myself, if something happens, like he's down, he's about the business, and I can count on him to do whatever needs to be done in order to get me to be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of what began like a more of a deeper attraction, to where I was like, oh, you know what? I could actually consider this person, because there's a lot of smart people. I know a lot of intelligent people, they can articulate themselves and so on. But it was the combination of like care and attentiveness, and then willingness to do what needed to be done in that moment.
Yeah.
Right. For my well-being.
Okay.
And I think that was certainly a moment of deeper attraction for me.
Okay. So now, while you're talking, I'm kind of thinking that, okay, so there's a moment that you both noticed that there was an attraction, which kind of brought you together. And now...
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Nothing, it didn't bring us together.
Sorry. Well, I mean, it started to bring you together, because you're...
Let her finish, and then we'll correct her after. Yeah.
So I'm going to say, there was some form of attraction on your part, and there was some form of attraction on your part that built up over time. And then what got you to the point of marriage?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's something that attracted you enough that you said, I'm going to
Yeah, no, you're right.
become one with this person.
That part's a blur for me. I don't know. No, you can answer that. I might have to think about it for a minute.
Yeah, so from the time she was gone for, I don't know, a few weeks traveling, and then she came back, and then I asked her out, and she gave me what sounded like a brush off. She said, like, I have exams and I'm busy for the next 2 months, right? So as a man, I'm masculine in this way.
Yeah.
If I hear that somebody says, I'm not free to see you for 2 months, I'm like, all right, I'm moving on. Like, I'm not waiting, holding my breath for you. A few weeks later, she calls me and says, hey, I know that you had asked about coffee. Are you free this afternoon for coffee? And then that date, as I mentioned before, started as a coffee date, which turned into a dinner date, which turned into a movie date, which turned into us talking on my car all night, right? And the more time spent and the more information that I got, the more beautiful Genevieve was to me. And she could flow with different groups of people. I loved the way that she thought. We laughed together. We could spend hours together. We took a trip to Kansas City together on a bus and talked the whole time, right? So I think it was progressive for me. I didn't. The more information I got, the more sure I was that this is somebody that, like, as much as we had only been getting to know each other in a focused friendship for less than a couple months, or weeks, not months, I was like, I can see this continuing. I can see a lifetime of getting to know her, and us being able to flow in some of the ways that we did when we were friends.
Yeah.
I certainly resonate with those pieces. I think the main thing that opened the door for me to consider a lifetime partnership was my feeling of calm. I could just be me. I didn't feel like I needed to put on or impress or like audition for him to like me, approve of me, accept me, feel good about me. I didn't feel that. And the fact that I didn't feel that put me at ease and made me think, oh, okay, you know what? If I partnered with this person for life, like, I could just be myself. And it doesn't sound Disney. It doesn't sound fantastical. It doesn't even sound rom-com. Like, it doesn't sound extravagant.
It's
but
real, though.
It was very real for me. Yeah.
So now here comes the part that stings. There's a moment where you've made that decision that, okay, I'll find peace with that person. But there's also a moment where things start to...
Oh, yeah.
So could you think of a time where, I guess, the attraction started to become more of a repellent?
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely think of those times. Claudia dropping things. It's okay, don't worry. I think I don't know, I can think of a lot of like moments where my insides, so I kind of have an internal compass when I think back. So my nervous system is calm, I'm cool, I feel okay. And then there were moments of extreme anxiety, like extreme moments of like terror, terror. Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, am I really going to marry this person? And like, it's a lifetime decision. So in terms of like repulsion or repelling, that happened for me a little bit later on.
Okay.
Where there was abort mission. There was 2 instances that I remember.
You say later on or earlier on?
Later on.
Okay.
So we had already gotten engaged. We were planning the wedding, all of that kind of stuff. He had gone traveling a little bit for work. And I remember 2 instances just very vividly where I was like, Jen, you need to run. One was you were working or something. We were sitting out and you were trying to get me to drink something. He was like, try this. And I was like, I don't want to try it. And he was trying to force me to try this drink. And I have no idea. It's like something glitched in your brain, bro. It was like, try this drink. And I was like, I don't want to try it. And you were just like forcing me to try this drink. And I remember feeling like, I like run. That was like the initial feeling. So I'm completely turned off when it comes to people that try to control me. Don't try to, quickest ways to turn me off, lie to me, embarrass me in public, and try to control me. You need me to leave. You need me not to be a part of your life. Yeah. Those 3 things.
I did a lot of those things.
Well, hello. This is why we have Sam and Jen. This is why we're here. This is why we're here.
Yeah.
But, and I mean, facetiously, but seriously, I don't like feeling that like force. So there was that moment, and that was before we got married. And then after we got married, this was like one of the initial, I call them rage episodes. One of the initial rage episodes that he went on, and it was like, it was a lot. Like yelling, screaming, eyes bulging, like blood vessels, and like he flipped over the couch, pulled down the bookshelf. Like it was a lot. And I just remember in that moment feeling extreme fear.
Okay.
But also like trying to figure out how to reconcile this presentation of this person who I'm supposed to love and supposed to love me, with the version of whom I thought a husband is supposed to be, who's supposed to be a covering, who's supposed to be present, who's supposed to be caring, who I'm supposed to trust, who I'm supposed to like do life with, build life with. And I think in that moment, like attraction
went down.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It disappeared. It was gone. And it never came back. Okay. Like it was like, I cannot unsee this. I cannot unhear this. I cannot unfeel this terror on the inside of me. And I know that I know today that you can recover from almost anything, and that can definitely be a situation where you can recover. But at the time, I didn't have tools for that. I didn't have conversation. I didn't have words for that. I didn't have ambition for that. Okay. I was like, no, this is not going to be my life. And that happened pretty early on. And I did do the work. I did some work. I tried to focus on things that I liked. Okay. I was like, okay, well, you know what? I really like this about him. He's a hard worker, and he's out there at night doing what we need to do. He's trying to get our finances in order. He has vision. He has dreams. I tried to focus on the things that I really loved and respected about him. But man, once that attraction breaks and that fear enters in, it's I don't know.
It's a hard place to recover from.
That's a almost impossible place. How do you lean into and desire someone who you feel like you need to guard yourself from? Yes. That's it. Yeah. Hard stuff. And there were also like quieter moments of questioning. Yeah. And there were more questioning around like safety, like emotional safety. Yeah. It's like, is this person going to be there for me? I started questioning that. Is this person going to be able to help me when I need it? There were even moments at your mom's house. I remember a couple moments where I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like one time his mom was like feeding him, like, and I was like,
what's going on? Yeah,
you're not a toddler. That's like, and it was, but it was cute and whatever. But it was also like, I don't.
In the back of your mind,
like I don't want to see you that way. I want to see you as like my man. I want to see you as this man that I can trust, like I can rely on to hold me up. You know what I mean? And there was another moment I remember. You probably don't remember this, but I remember this. He was walking by the table, and there was like some envelopes on the table, and he like knocked over the pile of envelopes onto the ground. You don't remember that, do you? No. His mother.
Wait, intentionally?
No.
Okay.
It was by accident.
Okay.
Yeah. You just like brushed it, and they fell down. And his mother like ran and started picking up the envelopes like off the ground, and he kind of turned around and then just kept on walking. Oh my! And I was like, I looked at his mother and I looked at him and I was like, where are you going and what are you doing? I was like, so you don't want to help? And I don't know why that moment was so vivid for me, because I just thought, how are you just gonna allow the envelopes to just be on the ground like that and not turn around and clean up your mess? You know what I mean? And you're gonna let your mom do it? Yeah. And I didn't like that. That was like a moment of like, ick.
The ick.
For me.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was such a simple thing. Yeah. But it was etched in my brain because it, on the inside, it did something. it challenged my feelings of safety, that I could depend on this man who was strong and ready and willing and reliable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's some hard moments.
So for you, Sam, do you have any similar types of moments where you experienced something similar, where there was a moment where you started to second guess or even start to maybe pull away?
I'm just wondering if I should defend myself from.
Or even
no.
if you want to, if you want to just give your take, or that's fine.
No,
but.
I mean the reality is that there's a human instinct to some degree to want to tell my side and defend myself.
For sure.
But I'm not being attacked, right? Genevieve is sharing her perspective of what happened and how she felt, right? And there's also honestly not so much that I disagree with.
Yeah.
In what she said, like I did have episodes of rage. I was oblivious to a lot of the things that, like, I'm still not great at noticing messes I make, right? That's still not a strength of mine. I've put in a lot more work on things like rage than I have on not knocking things over. But accidentally. Sharing all this to say that my human instinct is to be like, well, wait, there's some of that needs more context, but it doesn't. That would just be my ego, and that's not why we're on this podcast. But to answer your question, my attraction, like hearing Genevieve's story, I would say that there were some things that she thought a man should be that I wasn't embodying and wasn't doing, and I felt the same way. With time, there were some things that I thought a woman or wife should represent, ways that I thought that they should act, and some of those I didn't see, and some of those turned me off for sure. The biggest example of that was when I would share things that were bothering me or things that I was happy about. Sometimes it felt like Genevieve was being dismissive. Like she was just like, what's the big deal, right? Like there's an attitude that a lot of people have that says you shouldn't praise men for doing the bare minimum. And I patently disagree with that because I was dealing with a lot. I was struggling internally, externally, right? I was working, 2 jobs. I was trying to be a better husband and knowing that I was being a bad husband. And so I would come to her with emotional bids for support and for affirmation, both of, I'm feeling bad about this or I'm feeling great about this, however small, right? And a lot of those were rejected. Yeah. And so over time I created an emotional wall between myself and Genevieve because I also didn't feel safe. I didn't feel like I could come to my wife and like be vulnerable in that sense. So, that was definitely a push factor for me because, again, the reason that I was drawn to her was not because she's as beautiful as she is, but because, like she said, I felt a degree of safety and comfort. And then with time, those safety and comfort, the things that built that up for me were no longer there in the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with that.
So now looking back at the relationship and also any relationships that you've had since, how important is attraction? And the reason why I ask this is because, a lot of people base their relationship, if they want to pursue somebody, based on the attraction, whether it's physical, whether it's intellectual, emotional. But oftentimes attraction starts to, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
So how important should somebody, how much importance should somebody place on the attraction, and what other things outside of attraction should you be looking for?
Thank you all for joining us today. Make sure if you haven't that you like, follow, share, subscribe. We love to have you, and we'll see you again soon.